This case that we've been following for weeks now, the missing 9-year-old girl, Melodee Buzzard, boy, has there been a development there. This little face with the $1 million smile has been in our thoughts for over a month now. And as it turns out, we've got something to tell you about her mother. Sadly, we do not know where Melodee Buzzard is tonight, nor who, if anybody, may have tucked her in at bedtime. We don't even know whether the little 9-year-old girl ate dinner tonight, and frankly, we don't know if she's even still alive. And it's been a month and 3 days since she was last seen. Her mother, Ashlee Buzzard, hasn't given so much as a clue as to where her little girl might be, at least not to the police. She hasn't even begged the news cameras to help find little Melodee safe and sound. But we do know where Ashlee is. She just returned home an hour ago to her little home in Lompoc, California, just up the coast from Santa Barbara. She had been away since Friday, as you may well know, in jail on false imprisonment charges, a charge that was incredibly mysterious at first because it didn't have to do with Melodee. And now it just seems incredibly weird. Earlier today, she was in court to face that charge, minus the signature wig, and this is what she looks like. Her own hair is curly and cropped fairly short, almost unrecognizable. But this is how she appeared before the judge today. No wig, pleading not guilty to false imprisonment. And then, quite a surprise, because she was held with no bond, she was sent home with an ankle monitor. Take a look at her left ankle. You can see it there. And the wig is back. A few hours later, this was the picture of Ashlee Buzzard again leaving court. Yeah. So Ashlee is also prohibited from having any weapons, and she can't make any contact with her alleged victim, who in this case is a man named Tyler Brewer, a local paralegal whom she allegedly imprisoned in her home. Mr. Brewer spoke to our team even before he went public yesterday on social media, and he told our Nancy Liu that he's an acquaintance of Ashlee Buzzard's, and he'd been trying to help Ashlee find Melodee. He says he went to Ashlee's home last Thursday and that Ashlee became, quote, visibly distressed after sharing information that she'd apparently wished she had not. Mr. Brewer says that Ashlee told him her daughter Melodee was dropped off in Utah, and says Ashlee even identified the person with whom that child was supposedly left. But he says given Ashlee's mental health issues, he's really not sure if she was even telling the truth at that point. In his now deleted Facebook post, Mr. Brewer said in Ashlee's rage, she, quote, produced a box cutter. And despite multiple requests to be allowed to exit the home, I was not immediately permitted to leave. He told Nancy Liu that Ashlee kept shutting her eyes and making fists and engaged several locks on her door. Her mental health issues have been no secret, especially to the family. Melodee's paternal grandmother told our team today that she actually started trying to get custody of that little girl, custody of Melodee, years ago, but clearly was unable to. We do have this video, however. You can see this exclusive video. This is from the year 2020. And just note how detached little Melodee's mother, Ashlee, seems to be. Right back then, Melodee was just 4 years old, and Grandma was filming and making all sorts of fun jokes, but Mom wasn't doing much. I'm going to stop here and bring in Nancy Liu, who's been working this story nonstop, and she is live in Lompoc, out in front of Ashlee Buzzard's home. So, Nancy, just about an hour ago, you've been keeping watch, and there was activity at the home. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, we saw Ashlee Buzzard when she returned here. She was dropped off in that minivan with 2 Santa Barbara County workers. She walked inside. Again, she had that long wig on, and it's almost like it's like a cloak for her or something. She's hiding behind all that hair. But she walked in, didn't say a word. Of course, we're yelling, you know, where's Melodee? Do you have any comment? She had said absolutely nothing. We saw that ankle monitor on her left leg, so she walked inside, she locked the door. We've seen no activity inside. There is a light on in the living room area, but we've seen no activities inside, so she's definitely in hiding, and the neighbors are all on watch, waiting to see if there's any activity at this home, and we have not seen anything. So we shall see if she ventures out in the days ahead. But for now,
Sure.
she
So,
is home,
listen,
and she seems
Nancy,
to be in hiding,
I'm shocked.
Ashlee.
I am shocked that she was allowed out, even with that ankle monitor on her left. She's wearing the tight pants, but you can see the left ankle has that monitor because she was held since Friday on no bond. They wouldn't even let her out on bond. She had to cool her heels in jail over the weekend. So do we know whether this home is supposed to be her house arrest location? Because she didn't go straight from court to her home. There have been many hours where no one knew where she was.
Yeah, she was gone for about 3 hours. We saw her leaving the jail. It took a while to do the paperwork, to get her outfitted with that GPS monitor. We don't know where they went for about 3 hours. We thought they'd be coming straight here to Lompoc, so we don't know if they went to do more procedural stuff while she's out. For this pretrial. Her pretrial hearing is coming up next week. So, yeah, we don't know where she went for 3 hours, but we do know she is now home. And she's going to be back in court, though, in Lompoc. She'll be in the Superior Court here instead of up in Santa Maria.
Well, we're looking at KTLA's video, and now you can really get, for the first time ever, a clear look at her face. We've not been able to see her face before this close up because it's always been grainy surveillance video or, shots taken at a distance from neighbors who've watched her unusual behavior with moving boxes, etc., ripping down the missing person posters that were put on her front lawn about missing Melodee, her daughter. But now we can definitely see what she looks like with and without that wig. So I am curious about the court argument today, how she's out with an ankle monitor, because her, prosecutors said that she's a flight risk. I mean, we don't know where her daughter is. Did they even bring that up in court today?
Yes, they did bring that up. The prosecutors brought that up. But first off, in court, I think everyone in that courtroom, Ashlee, we're all so taken aback by how she looked, because we didn't know if she'd be coming out with her wig on or not. But we have to go to that video of her in court with her natural hair. It's short. It's very curly. For the most part, she's walking out there. But for the most part, throughout the proceeding, she had her hands clasped in front of her. She looked down much of the time. She only mumbled good morning to the judge after a lot of prompting. The not guilty plea was entered on her behalf. She's assigned a public defender. You see him next to her. He stressed that Ashlee, she has no criminal history, and that the complaint, this false imprisonment complaint, that it's a non-violent complaint. But the prosecutor countered, saying the alleged crime involved a box cutter, also noting that Ashlee Buzzard has, very questionable recent behavior. There's the road trip linked to the disappearance of Melodee. Melodee is still missing, but the judge did allow that supervised release with the GPS monitoring. And again, we saw when she was released from the jail, she had that long hair wig back on, and she really seems to be hiding behind her hair. And even as we're,
I'll tell you what,
yelling, where's
Nancy,
Melodee?
that wig is not just a fashion statement. She was switching wigs on that trip. When she went back and forth on a 3-day road trip, returning without that child, she was switching wigs. So it's not a fashion statement. We're not being catty. The wig matters in this story. It's evidence and it's an issue. Not only that, she was switching license plates, which means she's trying to evade detection. I cannot believe the judge didn't feel that she was a flight risk, and I really hope that they don't regret this decision to let her out, with an ankle monitor.
And that's the consensus around here, Ashlee, but she's going to be under a microscope in this neighborhood. Everyone is aware that she is back home. They're going to be watching this house like hawks. And, she has that ankle monitor on, and they will know her whereabouts. And, it will be, pretty daring should she try anything. But, you know, there are plenty of relatives also with a vested interest in this, and they're also keeping tabs on her, Ashlee.
So talk to me about the relatives. Were there relatives who showed up for her court appearance today?
Yeah, quite a few relatives on the paternal side of the family. Melodee's paternal grandmother was there, Lily Dennis. I got a chance to chat with her at court. And, you know, she talked a bit about the history of knowing Ashlee, always knowing that she's been, you know, a strange and different person who seemed unbalanced. But she was very angry, like you, that the judge allowed Ashlee to leave and be under supervised release. And she said she didn't even recognize Ashlee Buzzard in court. But take a listen to what Grandma had to say.
They let her go. And they didn't even write anything about the baby missing on that was that prosecutor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm really mad. Honest to God, I don't understand the law. She's been like this all her life. She has a record being in the Looney Hospital in Camarillo twice. What else what are they doing? I knew that she was an odd lady. I knew, it was the first time I met her. I knew something was wrong with her.
Okay, so Grandma's not only angry, she's worried. I mean, her primary focus is Melodee. She wants to find Melodee. Like much of the country, where is Melodee? She has to be out there somewhere. And, you know, they're trying to keep hope and positivity alive.
Boy, I'll say the primary focus is finding the little girl. At this point, let's all hope that she's okay and that this woman, you know, disappears from all of our lives. But I'll tell you what, if she does appear, there's going to be some issue with who's going to care for this little girl, because this woman has displayed some of the most bizarre, intransigent behavior. But excellent work, Nancy.
And Ashlee,
great. Thank you so much for this.
A custody battle has been underway. A custody battle has been underway with the paternal relatives, and that may factor in all of this and why, you know, Ashlee has been trying to shield Melodee and take her away to prevent the paternal relatives from taking Melodee away.
Well, we will see, because that also is against the law. You know, you can't just secrete a child away from those who are worried about her care, especially if you have the kind of mental health issues that it seems Ashlee Buzzard does. Excellent work, Nancy Lou. Thank you for that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.